Hello, my name is Brainoski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer Next.
And today we'll be giving our New World beta impressions before the release of this game on August 31st. So let's check it out.
Was it good? Was it bad? I have 24 hours in it.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
A lot.
I know.
Pretty good.
And as always, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, bang that bell, because you know you want to. Do it for the tube. The YouTube.
All right, we're going to talk about some video games this week, everybody. Most importantly, we're going to talk about a new MMO that we have gotten ourselves involved in. It is currently in closed beta, ending by the time you listen to this podcast. It won't be happening anymore.
Shit,
but we've been playing Amazon's new game, New World.
New World. I feel like they could have come up with a better title.
Probably.
But I get the title. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like you're entering in a new world. You're taking over. You're colonials.
Yeah. It's
who are
like
bringing guns and weapons.
yeah,
Come over and like
colonizing New World makes sense.
Yeah. I want to kind of throw it to y'all for like a little introduction here because you guys have played way more MMOs than I have.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about this game. Like, what are we doing in this game? Give me the setup.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, you.
So, New World has a pretty good intro, actually. Great trailer. And they get you kind of fired up. Then you get into the game, and you immediately go through the tutorial pretty fast. Like, it's not that...
No.
And it's exciting.
Super short.
It's exciting almost immediately. You immediately realize the gameplay's pretty good. Like, the combat system, very fluid, simple to use, and it gets you...
Dash mechanic.
Yeah.
You can parry, like dot or like parry and stuff like that.
Like the normal
Light,
stuff.
heavy attacks, yeah.
But it feels right. Like everything you're controlling with your character feels good, which is actually kind of rare for an MMORPG. Most RPGs are kind of basic, like
They just like mash the left to like
Yeah,
hit it.
clunky, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you just click.
it's annoying and boring. But New World, it gives you a lot of like fluid to it, to the combat, fluidity. I don't know how to say the word.
Yeah. You got it. That's right.
Yeah.
Fluidity. That's what kind of makes it stand apart from World of Warcraft. Like you were saying, you just click a button and you go and attack, and then you get gear that makes you attack faster. Yeah, it's the same with the Old Republic.
But it's
So the
not
other
as
ones,
different.
are you going up to an enemy, you click on them, and your character just starts attacking, or are you clicking every time to swing?
No, you just click and it starts
And it starts
attacking.
attacking. Okay,
But
yeah.
I mean, obviously you have your abilities, so you like
Yeah.
I don't know.
And this one
fling shit at them.
actually has a, like, you actually have to engage in the combat.
The quests are, for the most part, pretty interesting, I think. Like, once you get down the road, it gets a little grindy, but then it'll open up the further on the levels go. So you're not... You're getting new things is the important thing. So, like, every time you get a quest that gets you to that next area, it's usually something interesting. It's not going to be just that boring old like community board quest where you go out and find 10 sheep and skin them for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still a lot of that.
There is a
where it's
lot of
like,
that, and you have to do
go find
it.
and kill 10 people, or go find 5 rabbits or whatever. But then there's other stuff where it's like there's a boss. Sometimes it's like a mini boss.
They'll throw some mini
associated with
bosses
it.
in there, and I do appreciate the mini bosses. It makes it more interesting for sure.
Well, there's a way to approach this game, which I've heard someone say. It's like you can follow the main quests, and in other, like World of Warcraft, you'd be like, well, I can only pick up 2 professions. So for me, I always get skinning and mining because I can do that along the way, and then I can sell that stuff in the auction house and make money on the side. But here it's like, you have everything, and you can carry everything, and you can craft everything, and nothing is kind of like...
Nothing's limited.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
So as you progress, like the main thing is to really follow the story, and then you could pick up all these side things on the way and grind as you see fit.
Yeah.
Because obviously bag space is an issue. So like we all don't have to focus on the same thing. Like I could be like, well, I'm going to mine stuff, but I don't need to smelt anything. Travis is going to be the armor smith, so I'm going to just give everything to Travis.
Yeah.
And then he can level up his stuff, and he's ready to go. It's like, hey, I want this badass gear. Make it for me. He can make it. So it's like it's a nice like community thing too. Like you don't have to do it all, but I think the game kind of leans that way, and you can take everything at your own pace, which is even better.
And the enemies are freaking amazing. The AI is good. Like the AI is intelligent and will be ruthless if you're not careful.
Yeah, you can get swarmed pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine doing some of the things that I did with y'all online without y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like, there were some quests I was like, no, I couldn't have done this without them. No way. There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
So I like the AI. I think it's intuitive. I think it's smart. It doesn't do dumb things. Like if a wolf's behind a wall and you're on the road, it goes around the wall. It doesn't get stuck on the wall or something like it. And enemies are usually pretty quick, so they get to you pretty quickly. So you have to really think about what moves you're going to do before the enemy gets to you. I mean, some of the enemies have dodging abilities. Yeah. Some of the enemies have really interesting ranged abilities.
They got charging
abilities, stuns, knockbacks. Yeah. Like some of the bigger bosses can really mess you up.
Oh yeah.
And there's creatures in the game that are huge. Like the alligators we face. Holy crap, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
They charge at you and then you're just like
they can lunge at you and then,
hit them with your hit them with the tail.
They get in front of you, you're behind them and you're like, "Oh, I'm just going to stab you." Yeah, and then they flick you with your tail and you're like, "What the fuck?"
And you get knocked down. It's like, "Oh shit, I just got stunned."
Yeah.
And so it really puts you like I like the creativity they did with the enemies. I think they did a really good job with the AI. This game has a lot going for it, man. I mean, the detail to the game, pretty freaking good. When I went fishing for the first time, I was like, this is probably going to be dumb. But when I fished, when I catch a different kind of fish, it wasn't just, here's a generic fish that you caught and it just catches the same fish every time. They would have different sizes and they would actually be real fish that you would catch in the real world, like cool. Bass or salmon or like, whatever the heck it was that was out there, perch, and they'd be different sizes if it was the same fish. And the attention to detail to the fish was really cool because you'd hold up the fish to the camera and then you'd look at the fish and be like, "Oh, cool, that's a nice fish. I got a fish. I got a real fish." You'd be proud of catching a fish.
That's awesome, yeah.
And you don't get that kind of detail in every video game. Most of the time, it's just some generic
like WoW. You get a fish and it's like, "Oh,
you caught a
my
fish.
Inventory," and it's
here's your fish.
It's a blue icon.
You're an idiot for for fishing.
So do you use the fish just for food and rations and stuff like that, or can you use them for like other types of crafting?
Actually, the fish can be used for a couple of different things. I know that at least. It could be for cooking, and you can also get the oil off the fish that completes like community quests and stuff.
That's cool. Well, I want to talk about the class system or the lack thereof of a class system where like instead of having classes like the rogue and the clerics and all these different things you can choose from, it's based on your weapons that you select.
Yeah.
So it's like you have a whole bunch of weapons in there. And you start out with like everybody starts with a sword, right?
Sword and shield. Yeah.
Sword and shield. And then you can later on, as you collect new weapons, you can switch to those weapons, and all the weapons have like a skill tree assigned to them that kind of dictates your class. In
two skill trees.
Yeah.
Two skill. Well,
so you can choose.
Yeah. You have. Yeah, that's right. So you have two different pathways you can kind of take, or you can kind of mix and match if you want to.
Okay.
And you can. Like I can pull from like one skill tree and the other. I have a mix on both sides. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. Never said that.
Yeah.
Because you click on the one thing and it like opens up. It's like, here's some blue things that you can now spend.
No,
points
you can go
on.
to you can go to the other tree.
You can only pick on a single level tier. So like whatever level you're on either direction, you can pick on that level, and you have to have something from that first level to unlock the second level.
Yeah.
And then the third. It just goes down row by row.
Well,
but you can mix and match between all of them.
I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah, because like because on my sword, because I'm playing in sword and shield.
You can't play anymore anyway.
Right. I'm playing with the sword and shield, and most of my abilities I've done down the left path, but on the life staff, I have abilities from each side because some of them are more like damage dealing things that also give health, and others are more like defensive kind of health abilities. Yeah. So I pulled from each different area.
And you can switch it up with your abilities. So you, when you do PvP, you can be more damage, or you can do more, you know, healing, like you said, or you can be more tactical based and have more stuns or something. Like there's a lot of different things you can do with the tree. It's just it seems like the possibilities are limitless with what you can do.
Yeah.
So I tried a lot of them. I really liked the sword and shield early on, and I went more like defensive kind of tanky stuff. So I could charge in with my shield, and it would stun them for a short while. So I'd hack and slash, and then they come back and try to get me. But then I also had another stun where I like do shield bash, so that actually stuns them for a longer amount of time. And if you hit them, the stun goes away.
Yeah.
So like that was really cool to have because I could potentially stop them from attacking me for at least 3 seconds, which is enough to bring their most enemies' health down halfway. And then obviously from afar, like I was just doing the bow and arrow, and so I shoot them and kind of like ping their damage down a bit, and then obviously I got to them and charged it and blah blah. So I have a little technique going. But I tried the hammer. The hammer was badass.
I fucking love the hammer.
I tried the hatchet, which is supposed to be really good for PvP. And I think it's okay. I just there's not enough shield with that, like because like that one's a single hand weapon, so you don't use a shield with it.
Takes your stamina down pretty quick.
Yeah.
If you're blocking with it, yeah.
Yeah. So like I want something to block, and the shield's nice because it does quite a bit of blocking, and I really like that.
Yeah. It's based on how much stamina you have, basically, but
Yeah.
I
a
heard
smaller
that
weapon will.
the hatchet also increases your movement speed slightly,
No, okay.
Would
which
be
is
surprised.
interesting. So like,
Yeah, so
because
they got
lighter
a-
stuff like that. You can move a little bit faster.
Actually,
It's
yeah,
got a
it
rage
does.
perk that allows me to move 10% faster.
Yeah. Josh was using it when
Yeah.
we were playing.
yeah.
I forgot.
So
about that.
that's kind of cool.
But I do like the hatchet with the because it had one skill tree is like you're more like up close and personal. The other one is you can throw the hatchet. So I have 3 moves that throws the hatchet. One,
Do you get it
I
back?
throw it and well, yeah, it doesn't ever go away. Just
You just have an
a
infinite
magical
number
hatchet leaves in my hand, and I still hold one. So I can throw it for like a bunch of damage. I have one where I can jump back and throw. So like if someone comes up to me, I get that distance. And I think there's a perk where I can throw one from a distance too, like after I jump back. And the other one is like a charged throw, and it actually like applies disease on it. So like I would go up to
interesting.
enemy and like throw, and they come up to me, jump back,
Yeah.
and then I just go.
Yeah, so each weapon has you can equip up to 3 abilities, and they're kind of like your abilities you'd have in like Overwatch or Valorant or whatever, but they have a cooldown to them. So you have the 3 different abilities, and you can like change them out however you want. And each weapon has that. So technically, you have 6 abilities that are available to you to do things. So you have
But
to make
that's
sure that
what's-
weapons equipped to utilize those abilities.
That's what I love about this game is the user friendliness of it.
Yeah.
Like you only have 3 abilities, but the 3 abilities, depending on the stats that you choose for your class, will do different things.
Right.
So, Warhammer, for example, when you use it's like a thunderwave bash. Basically, I hit the ground and it gives off a shockwave in a direction. It's
That's
like
cool.
an AOE thing.
Yeah.
Really freaking cool. It gives off a loud noise. It's awesome to do. I love it. But here's a upgrade you can get for it when you do a perk like that makes them stagger the enemy instead of
okay.
just doing damage. So like I think each weapon, and I'm pretty sure this is true for all of them, depending on what perks you get, can change the aspect of your ability. So I thought that was really nice, and it makes it so much easier just to have to worry about 2 or 3 buttons instead of the long like World of Warcraft. You just all these different abilities that you do.
it drives me
12
It's like
different
12
abilities.
to 20 different abilities.
Yeah.
It's like I can't keep track of this shit while
That's
I'm
the thing
in combat.
Yeah.
And then you leave the game for a while. You come back, and you're like, I don't remember what any of this does.
Yeah.
But in this game, it's I just love the combat so much. I will say, I think the biggest negative aspect of this game, and it's really not that bad. I've been able to overlook it. Is just kind of the grindiness to some things. Like, just doing blacksmithing, it was like, man, I'm gonna have to mine my ass off to get enough iron to do any kind of blacksmithing because you have to be like level 25 to get the next level of weapons. You have to be level 50 to get the next level of armor. Level 50.
Is that to craft
Wow.
it though, right? Can you
To craft
you can
it.
discover that stuff?
No,
sooner?
you have to be level 50 in armor
Yeah.
craft and armor crafting to
Now is
get
that
the next
talking like
armor.
the difference between like going from like a blue to an orange, or is that
It's like going from a gray to a orange.
okay?
That's how long that's like as far as like length
Gray
goes.
to a green.
I'm talking about like length, like how long it takes to get to that level.
Yeah.
It should be, a gray to a green,
right.
but it feels like you're working to get a gray to an orange.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I got a ton of iron. Like my mining is pretty good right now, just because I mine so much. And then I tried to craft a bunch of stuff, and it costs like 7 to 14 iron just to craft one piece, and one piece will only get you just a little bit up on the level.
Yeah.
So I'm level 5 in armor smithing because
Jeez.
I looked at how long it takes to get the level up. Maybe there's some trick that I don't know about, but as far as I could tell from everything I crafted, it did not move very much at all. And it
Oh, you're talking
cost
about the
a
level
ton
of your
armor.
table, basically your bench that
No.
you use to craft.
No,
Your skill.
No,
Your skill
that's the
in crafting.
skill. It's a skill.
Yeah, but it's like that's
There are
the
different
level of your
tiers.
table,
There's different
like-
tiers.
No.
Yeah,
So
but that's different. That's something else.
Oh,
The
okay.
tier for the workbenches are tied to the town.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Which
if
we'll
it's
get
like
into in a second.
if it's like a tier 2, you can craft like a green
Yeah,
armor
yeah.
piece. If it's a tier 1, you can't craft a green armor
Right.
piece. But you can have the ability to craft a green armor piece as long as you have a tier 2 bench. Does that make
Yeah, okay.
sense?
I gotcha.
So yeah, so I was doing that for a while, and I was trying to get up everything. I was trying to get weaponsmithing and armor smithing, and it was just taking so freaking long that I was just like, I'm not going to do this. And it really sucked because even if I got the armor smithing up to a certain level, the faction rewards that we'll also talk about in a little bit were better than
what you're going to craft.
than what you're going to craft. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, what's the point of crafting then? So I really hope that when the game gets released, that it's going to be a little different.
Well, it's probably gonna be the same, but it's that higher tier stuff that you're probably gonna want to build up to crafting
Right, but there's no real reward for crafting
right now.
but
That's the thing. Like you want
maybe
it for
down the
later.
road.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know how long it's going to take for me to get that stuff?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put the time into that, you can over time because there's a lot to this game. I guess let's jump into the settlements and stuff because that's like a whole thing in itself.
Oh God, it's a
Yeah.
whole nother subject.
So you start in a starting area, and the cool part is everyone starts somewhere different. There's no one starting zone, like because the whole thing is World of Warcraft. You're the Alliance, or you're with the elves, or you're with the orcs. Like you start
in the same damn place.
yeah, every time. This one you start randomly throughout different sections of the map, which are I guess zones. And so from there, you can go to the big city, which everything starts opening up, and you start getting quests to like build the city up. So every time you rank up the city by completing these quests on the what's the board called?
Community board.
Community board. Yeah, like go gather this many things and bring it back, and
Yep.
it ranks up the city to allow you to get I guess I don't know what the points are called. City
Well,
points.
it builds your like renown in that region.
Yeah,
too,
it's like a
Oh, yeah.
as you're
renown
progressing through.
system
But
or something.
Well, you get points for completing these things, and it allows you to like get faster gathering, like 5%, or get faster XP in the area, like 8% more XP, or it increases your faction rank by so much. And it's cool that like those are things.
Status or something. I forget what they call it.
Yeah.
so when you pull up your map and you click that little tab on
Yeah.
the left hand side,
Yeah.
it pops out.
Yeah.
So it's like doing stuff in the world like nets you things, and all this stuff you do along the way. So like I would skin so much that I could just complete the skinning mission for the town
Yeah.
like super like immediately. So
Yeah.
like I'm getting that XP, getting that gold, allowing me to get more XP along the way. And I was like, that's a nice little build. Like you feel like you're doing something,
Yeah.
like because you're getting rewarded by playing the game.
And I haven't even gotten into the like whole defense building and everything like
Oh, yeah,
that. Like the
that's-
whole like
That's some in-game stuff right there.
it's like not only do you have your status with the community that you're doing these quests for, you also have your faction that you're working for that control certain, I guess, cities. But you also have not only factions, but like I guess the comparison of guilds.
Yes.
That can
Yeah.
actually not control cities. The factions control the
regions.
region, but they also control the strongholds, and then
Yes.
the guild, or whatever you want to call it,
Called companies. in this
Companies.
game.
It's
Yeah.
company.
the company actually controls the
Settlements.
towns, the settlements.
Yeah.
And they decide what like tax rate they're going to tax there and all this other stuff. So I'm not really like completely sure how all that works just yet. Like we never got into the real big war PvP stuff.
Yeah.
At the moment, we did some PvP while we were questing just to see like how it was.
That is cool.
Which is really freaking fun.
Yeah.
Because
you go in the town, you turn on PvP
Right.
with your party, then you go out and you have like 20 seconds before you become available
Vulnerable.
to
Yeah.
yeah. And so you could just find random people and kill them. And I thought that was
Yeah.
exciting.
Did y'all have any encounters?
yeah,
That were,
yeah, we had like
Yeah.
4 or 5 encounters, and
Did you die?
yeah, we got killed a couple times.
So do you lose anything?
Just your durability
yeah.
on like your weapons and armor.
So that's one of the things I found
I think
interesting in
you
this
get
game
stuff.
that people talked about as a benefit in this game is that, I mean, for me, it's a benefit, but I know a lot of people that are like diehard MMO fans hate this aspect. But like in most MMOs, like you go out there and you're like on a quest, and you're doing all these things, you're doing PvP, whatever it might be, you die. You then have to go out and retrieve your body to like get your shit back and
Yeah.
do the whole thing, right?
That's old
In this
school.
game, it's like you go out there, you die,
It
you're
damages your
good, you
stuff.
go back, it damages your stuff. But like theoretically, you could go out, and this is like a tip that I heard somebody talking about. It's like you go out there, you do a big old fight, you're far from your town. You can go in the menu and click respawn. And
Yep.
it kills you and it takes you back to the settlement, so you don't have to walk all the way back. And
Yep.
you just lose a little durability. But the amount of like gear that you're collecting, you're going to be getting repair kits probably pretty often to be able to repair that
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, as far as I can
Well, you
tell,
salvage enough, you can repair it easily.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we came across people that messed us up, but being in a party of 3 or more, or just 2 or more, like you can destroy someone who's decently or leveled than you, at least like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that, like find people in the wild and be like, all right, we're gonna fuck you up.
And it's just so much fun to be like traveling to a quest and all of a sudden you just like a bullet just hits you out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
you're just looking around. You're like, what? Where did it come from? Like it's just woods everywhere.
Because there's sneak, you can crawl on the ground
Yeah.
and you can sneak. And I was like, what is even the point of this? Because I never used it for a quest. But
Yeah.
if you're in the grass and you're laying down, your nameplate doesn't pop up.
Your nameplate and
really?
your tag doesn't pop up, so you could be hidden
You could just like
from
wait.
other players and
Oh my
be
God.
shooting at somebody, and you can shoot from the ground. So you could literally just be sniping people, and
like,
they wouldn't
"Where is
even
this coming from?"
exactly.
they wouldn't even see you. Like the guy that was shooting at me was on top of a rock, and I never would have found him until you said he's up
Yeah.
there on the rock, and then we went up there and killed him.
He stood up and I was like, there he is. We've kind of flanked him. He didn't know we saw him. And
Yeah.
we kicked both of their
Yeah, we
asses.
kicked
I didn't
his
know there was
butt.
2. There's only 1. But it's just little things like that, like the way the mechanics work. And
Yeah.
it's really like giving yourself a challenge, like someone else who could have something similar to you or has different combinations, and kind of seeing how that all works out and putting yourself to the test. Like that's what PvP is all about.
Yeah.
And you can kind of correct where you need to. Yeah, we went into this one temple, and this is one lower level guy we tried to kill, but he jumped down the stairs and ran to the main entrance, and his other 2 high level friends were there, and we're trying to like
There
mess
was
him
like
up.
4 or 5 people that just came out of nowhere. I felt like
It was 2, so it was 3 on 3.
it was 3 on 3.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but one guy had the spear, which I hadn't used yet, and he was just like, gah, gah, gah. And like, I was getting stunned. I couldn't do anything. Before I knew it, I was dead because he was level
Yeah.
like 24, and I was only level 17.
I was so mad with that battle because I almost killed one of them, and
I know. It was so
and then
close.
I had to run, and yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to share a little bit more about the companies and the factions, just to kind of give some insight as to what that's going to be like once we
Yeah.
get into the full game. So companies, you create your organization, they're limited to 100 players, and they can declare war on each other if they want to. So like somebody has a settlement, you can come in and declare war on that place. And there's like a period of time that you say you're open to attack, where you can get attacked not only by these people, but there's also the I forgot what they called it, the conflicted or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah.
red shit that's out there.
Yeah,
which is a part of the PvE aspect
They're like the
of
demon
it.
zombie things
Yeah.
that are everywhere.
So those things at the time that
Afflicted.
you've allowed it to be open,
Conflicted.
they can come and attack your base when you're in that
Yeah.
window of time, and potentially get it taken over, like uncontested again. But as a company, you have the ability to set taxes and start settlement projects within those areas to increase the benefits of visiting that settlement.
Also, the defenses and stuff like that. So it'll be less prone to being overthrown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get like ballista or I think it was ballista. It was like cannons and stuff and some
Yeah.
like turret thing, like an
gosh.
actual like gun turret. And like,
cool.
oh, that's pretty cool.
What was cool about our thing is, well, first we were in the Marauders area, and Josh is like, "Why are y'all here? Why don't?" Because we all became what was our faction called?
We should know this.
Covenant. Thank you. So we're like, let's actually go to the Covenant area because taxes are lower for us and stuff. Like that's the benefits of being in an area controlled by your faction. So we go up there, and someone waged war on us. And so Saturday, which was the day before this podcast was recorded, there was a war, and I don't know who won
Yeah.
to take over our area. But it was funny, like going in the beginning and seeing how all the areas are like marked out, the regions, and then coming in the next day, and there was like basically everything was gray because people are warring for those areas. So like they've gone neutral, I guess. I don't know how that all works out from like going from faction control to neutral to another faction control.
So it doesn't ever go neutral. Neutral is just if it's never been captured.
Really?
But with the faction control, what happens is if by playing in a territory, your team will build basically renown in that area.
Right.
And once it reaches a certain point, if it's uncontested, you can take that area and obtain it. And then once you own it, other players can go, like say you're on Covenant, you want to go and take out a Marauder area. you go over there with your company and you start doing missions there. And by doing those missions, you start to, it's like basically a progress bar. So once you meet in the middle and you've done more missions than they have, or have like, you know, like equaled it out, that area becomes in conflict. And then you can then wage war against that other team, and then they set up that war. And then if you fight that war, which is like 50 on 50, I believe.
Dang.
If they win that war, then they take over that territory and immediately own it. And then it transitions aside. So that's kind of how the whole process of that works.
The storage system, let's start with the good things.
All right.
Good thing with the storage system is you put all your stuff in the storage, okay? All your materials for crafting, all your wood, your rocks, whatever the heck you get off of quests, you can put it in the storage. You don't have to worry about it.
It's 1,000 pounds of storage.
And you can go to the crafting table with nothing in your inventory and craft from your storage box, which is
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that feature because it makes it so much easier to contain all your inventory. You're not spending hours
going back
to and forth, grabbing, oh, I needed more iron, or I needed more wood, or whatever the heck you need. But the catch is that you cannot get the same inventory system per settlement. So you have a bunch of your stuff in one settlement. Like you said, if it gets taken over and taxes go up, and you're like, shit, I want to go to this other settlement when taxes are lower. You would have to manually take all the stuff in that inventory for that settlement and move it to the other one. It's not a universal storage system. It only affects the settlement that you're in. I do notice, though, that they have a decent, amount of inventory that you can get off the world, right?
Yeah.
But the more I play, the more I realize you're probably just going to stick with one armor set for most of like the 10,
at least 20
5
levels.
to 10 levels between, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
you can buy pretty cheap stuff at the auction house too.
Yeah, I mean, you can change it up, and you can change the way everything looks. Like, you can put different skins on. If you've already collected it, I think you can put that skin on the armor that you're actually wearing, so it looks different, or you can change it up. So I do appreciate that, but I feel like there's really not as much loot as I thought there was going to be. Like, I feel like I'm kind of stuck with some weapons and armor that I've been having for 5 to 10 levels, like I was saying. But I mean, it might change up. It's not a huge issue, and the stuff that you do get is pretty cool. Like, it's well designed, so it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could have just have a little bit more with like stuff that you find, because you don't find much that's different or that's better than what your faction's going to give you. Like, I haven't found anything in the world. Yeah. I take that back. I found a weapon that was better than what the faction gave me.
Yeah.
But that was lucky.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
so the faction rewards are pretty much as far as I can tell, is the best loot you can get.
So you get to level 15, and then you can start actually using the faction loot.
Yeah.
At least for our faction, which I assume is across the board.
And then the next level is 25 for the next set of loot, which is next set of armor and weapons. And then there's other things you can buy as well, like ammo and potions and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And I haven't really changed out anything since.
Do you buy that from your Covenant person?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And it does cost gold, but it is a lot cheaper than if you were just going to go to the auction house and buy some armor.
I gotcha.
It's like a lot cheaper.
But you have to do the faction missions to get the faction tokens,
Yeah.
along with actually paying gold. Which gold is really not that big a deal.
Which can be grindy.
Yeah, well, because I remember seeing that bar up in there. It's like you have one that's like pretty close, but it's like the leveling. It just seems like it's very slow movement to unlock that stuff.
I mean, for the progression, and like I was saying before, like most of the quests aren't bad. Like, you get a lot of side quests, you get a lot of main story quests that are interesting, but a lot of these quests that you're doing, for the most part, are just grindy quests. Like, gather this, go find a chest, go look for some stuff in these chests over there, or kill this many enemies. Like, pretty basic RPG quests.
Earlier, you said they were great, man.
Well, they are. I mean, I'm not saying they're all bad. Like, the main quests and the side quests are really good, and like, it keeps me interested. That's why I'm saying there is a grindy aspect to it. Like, I'm not going to just be like, this is the best game ever. Like, there's always something that can be improved.
It's always going to have some grind.
But overall, the game's amazing. Like, I kept my attention for over 20 hours, which is hard to do for me. I mean, the lands are beautiful. I love the different areas. The graphics look great.
Territory rewards.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah, territory rewards, standing game, stuff like that.
So I'm curious.
Oh, you can buy a house. We forgot to mention that. You can get a house.
Yeah,
and
buy
you
a
can
house.
decorate your house.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So this game is gonna be it's $40 to purchase, which is crazy. It's like
I pay
lower than
60.
that.
I pay
you want?
$60 for that game. Easy.
Yeah. I bought the gear thing. I paid the $50
nice.
for the gear piece or whatever
Very
that,
nice.
that will come out later. But I'm curious, like what they're gonna do. I mean, there's that store where like it looks like there's gonna be some like skins and stuff like that, kind of in Sea of Thieves or whatever you can like purchase.
Yeah.
But do you guys think there will ever be a like monthly fee or something like this added here, or do you think they're just gonna like monetize it based off the clothing and stuff like that?
I don't know.
I think they'll do it off the clothing.
Yeah, I think they'll
Sea
do.
Thieves been successful like that. Why wouldn't this game? I mean, people are going to be invested. They're going to want to look different and look badass. So
They'll probably charge us for DLCs. I mean,
that's
everybody
a good
does.
point. Yeah,
so
that could be an option.
I would think they would charge us for DLCs and probably just keep the microtransaction store open. Which, as long as they're not giving them like powerful weapons or something, that really changes the way
that's
the
what people
game's
are worried
played.
about.
As long as they don't do that, I'll be okay with the cosmetics. The cosmetics are fine. I get it. Like you want to look a certain way, you want to pay a little extra to do it. Fine, do it. But if you
no pay to win.
if you do some pay to win stuff, I'm going to be very upset, and I'm going to email somebody and then burn it to the ground. Okay, don't ruin my game.
That's right. That's right.
Oh god.
This is probably I haven't been this excited for an RPG since Dragon Age. I really haven't. Like I can't remember the last RPG that I got really into.
So Amazon has a good game on their hands. We're looking forward to release.
Yeah.
Yep. Comes out
Excited.
August 31st, everybody. So this game will be out very soon, and you'll probably see us playing it. So we'll jump in. We'll share what the server is. We're gonna probably make a company, I guess. So
Yeah.
You can join
why
the
not?
company
Yeah.
for
We'll have
$5.
something, Yeah. For $5.
Yeah. Join the Discord.
Yep.
Join Discord.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up for the games you played this week. If you want to play games with us each and every week, you can join us in our Discord channel. Check out that link in the show notes. And if you like what you hear, you can consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or sharing this episode with a friend.